Greetings everyone wherever you are watching from. All Progressive Congress APC is not finding the Peter Obi's petition on Tinubu at the tribunal court easy at all. The stolen mandate from the 2023 Nigerian presidential election that took place on the 25th of February in the course elected Bat Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos State and the nominee of All Progressives Congress, remain inconvenience case for Bat in the court. Tinubu, since he fled Nigeria for France, has not made a court appearance to defend the pre-arranged mandate with him. As we learned, the court, as of today, hasn't shown partiality to favor any party. The Tinubu's administration now formed agents who are everywhere impersonating the LP and the obedience to make up violence. We acknowledge Mampolo's Corner for his incoming video with detailed analysis regarding this case. I am Anthony Ku, reporter for Kibri's Got Talent.
Renee, your mindset. Guys, there is a video that has been trending since yesterday. That video, if you are an obedient person, you need to just disregard that video. Forget about it. That video was done by APC propaganda team. APC propaganda team. Now them put that video together. I hear say that the same person want to do this video. One I want to show you now. Now I do that one they do for Igbo land as well. When they say, are you Peter Obi? Are you Peter Obi supporter? Are you Peter Obi? Now they show them ratata. They show the guys ratata. Now the same person that they use as tools. Now Igbo man. Obedient people don't go investigate. Investigate his rudiment, where he come from. Investigate where your wife they work. We can't know say your wife they work for TVC. Tinubu TV station. Now your wife they work. That they use on our tools. So don't worry now. As that they use on our, we they find on our out. Obedient people, very intelligent group of people. If you do, they go dig you. Don't forget that obedience are everywhere. Even in your household, you want to do that, you want to misbehave. So your brother, your sister, even you are one of your children, they're obedient. They go find you out. You can not all those you want to do, you cannot escape it. Just go and mark my words. You can't escape all this propaganda they put to discredit people, to discredit obedient movement. Let me first show you the video when they trend. So after that, I will show you where that same man don't do the same thing before, something like that, to discredit obedient people. Let's watch this video first. Watch the video.
I was so super excited when I heard their body. I'm fine. And then I get on the plan, then one people and the flight was on time.
Guys, come and see this. Give way. One person can hold us at ransom. Yes. You want to keep this plane down?
So I decided to stop this video here. I don't want to make it messy where they shout. Obedient to not they here. Obedient when they drag them. I want to make the video they claim. You reach up to a point that when they drag them because they say obedient people. Oh, you people here, who not help me. Obedient people, who not there here that they drag me. So I don't want to reach that point because I want to make my video they claim. Because of community guideline. All right. So that's what happened in this video. Now, because APC don't see say this court case, don't hold them here. That they find what they want when they perpetuate evil, say now obedient people they cause violence, or that they hold plane down. They are now causing what is called public nuisance. Now what that they want now. All these things that they cook ham, they bring them. This guy don't do one before. I'm going to show the video because they don't know how to defend this court case. When hold them so now. That they try anyhow to infiltrate violence through the name of obedience. When I say obedient people, they do it. Obedient, we don't do all those things. We know what we do. Make I show now where this guy don't do one of them. I go silent the sound of that video because I don't want to make I hear rubbish words in there. But I may show you a clip of where that guy don't do something like that in the East before. Then before I can't do this one now, I think there's a then collage those videos together. May you watch them. Watch. Now they say now that same matter now the grand there when they do that thing for by the left. If you see by the right, now you see there for inside that plane. Now you be the actor when they say they support to be, and not even Obi t-shirt he wear. It just the users they play. Now so the guy they doing work, they collect the money from APC. We don't see all those things finish. They won't discredit us. Let me off the video at this point here. The intelligent gathering when we get say now that same person when do that Igbo when they say, oh, I'm not gonna support Obi again. So that people will not be supporting Obi during campaign. Now you still can't do this one now. What did come up now? No, you want perpetuate, you want use the name of obedience, they perpetuate violence. We're not the violent, obedient people not the violent. Let me ask you a question. One question that is very notable. If actually this is what obedient people do, if it is what we do, why it be say when they shout obedient people, are you not people here? Are you people here? Why is it at least one obedient for that plane no support you? It shows you that obedient people don't support violence. Obedient people don't support holding plane down. Not the obedient people. Only people when they do this is Aboro party, which is called APC party. That's what we do for Lagos State everywhere. Not only we get that kind of lifestyle, we no get them. But Labour Party people no get them. Obedient people no get them. So the Bible said, "By their fruit we shall know them." This is not coming from us. That's why you know see only even one obedient and say, "Oh, leave him now." I can categorically tell you that in that plane one day for grand there, obedient people one day there pass 80%. No two ways about it. The people want support the Labour Party in that plane one day in that plane already, they pass 80%. Why if say no one person say, oh, leave him now, he's supporting obedient, he's supporting P2B? Because we don't do that. That is not part of us. It is not part of our trait. It is not part of our characteristics. They hear me? This is solely the characteristics of APC and the Aboro life. We are not Aboro. Obedient people are intellectuals. Even people when no go school among them. By the virtue of being in group with obedient, their minds are renewed. They are well informed how to conduct themselves. You know, we say they come here, they say obedient. For you to believe that it is APC that are orchestrating all those plans and carrying it out in the name of obedience, or wanting to impersonate obedience to be perpetuating all those evil in the society, we know they do them. Listen to this voice note. Listen to this voice note from their WhatsApp group when they plan something like this. And they don't plan and finish, go they carry and they stage them. They act them in the name of obedience. We don't do violence, we don't do that, not obedience. It has nothing to do with us. Listen to this voice note when they plan them. APC evil. Listen.
May they bring, I mean, let us, this time is no more time of being sane. If they say Asawaju is a drug dealer, Peter Obi is a drug dealer, Peter Obi is whatever. I mean, me Douglas, they're not going to bring and come near me. They won't. They're not born them well. They know born them well. It's goes for gas. If you tell me Shetima is Boko Haram, Peter Obi is IPOP. Born. If you want cry. If you want break your head, break your head. The time for being civil is gone. We have won the election. So when they bring that their nonsense, give it to them back. I was expecting the time of that election when they were pushing all sort of nonsense junks and this is what the one that they do with that what is his name? This Olumide Owori or something. You know, that was when I was like, oh, what's APC doing? I said it in our group. What's APC doing? Do you push your propaganda? Get 3 people, beat one person, video it, or LP is beating APC guy. Stage all these things and push it on the internet.
Oh, another hear them. You see whether they plan them inside WhatsApp group. You see now so that they carry them out. This, if I can tell you, say this guy when they even do the acting, he among this group. He among this group. Now so that they plan them, they go use it in name. You see he say make you stage 3 people, stage 4 people, beat them well. Say now LP people they beat them. He they beat the APC guy. Meanwhile now we them na them. Now what they tell you. So we won't be obedient. If you do, we go verify you. This one won't happen for flight now. And why they work for TV station of Tinubu, TVC. They don't verify the guy rich grand. The guy weak. I hear say that they call him now. The guy say he don't collect the money. Oh, now he walk and go do. For those who do not understand how obedient people react to issues, they go issues by law. They react to issues by law. If they want to do things, they go according to the law. Oh, for those who never see how they react to issues, watch this video.
The ambassador of the the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. Today, we mourn the demise of credibility, the rape of trust, the abuse of will, Today, we stand in the ruins of transparency, on the embalming table of inclusion, equity, and accountability. Today, we are voices stripped of the music of choice. Today, we are Nigerians, broken, calling on INEC to count our votes. On the 25th of February 2023, Nigerians trooped to their polling units with one mission, which is to cast their votes and choose their next leaders. They qualified for this exercise by participating in year-long continuous voter registration, which witnessed an unprecedented spike as has never been seen in any election since 1999. Months later, they returned to collect their permanent voter's card and went home with a commitment to participate and engage with the process. The chain of apathy was broken, just to the belly of oblivion. We were free to exercise, to experience the full potential of our Nigerianness. Our binding lines were unbroken. In ideology, they held us together. In trust, they washed us like water. In truth, they kept us alive. We breathed the full breath of what being citizens should be in a progressive, secular society. So when the day finally arrived, we had hope. We had no doubt in our hearts, in the potion that always questions truth, that our votes must count. But nothing could bolster our belief like the assurances by Mr. President, General Muhammadu Buhari, and the INEC Chairman, Professor Yakubu Mahmood. Recall that a little over a year ago, President Muhammadu Buhari appended his signature to the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2022. The fanfare that greeted that amendment can well claim recognition as one of the most colorful in our recent history due to its unbroken allegiance to the Nigerian spirit. On that day, we were neither Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Efik, Fulani, Birom, or any tribe whatsoever. No, we were not Bagi, we were not Ijo. On that day, we were Nigerians full of positive energies of our land. Now, I hate to announce today that in the heart of some, all this has gone to waste. You may have seen the video of the diasporans who tore their passports. Some other Nigerians have done same to the fabric of our identity because INEC, through Professor Yakubu Mahmood, chose to silence their voice. And so we ask, what is the value of democracy if the process that recruits its leaders consistently lacks credibility? Perhaps the answer is at the International Conference Center where Professor Yakubu Mahmood began, sustained and concluded collation and declaration of a candidate as winner of the presidential election based on falsehood, contravening its guidelines and electoral act. It is most disturbing that this was done in the full glare of the world. Never has our democracy been so sorely abused by any citizen in either public or private service. Professor Yakubu Mahmood has raised a bar in impunity that will cost our country many years of electoral excellence to correct. This was not the electronic transmission he promised Nigerians and the world at Chatham House. Professor Yakubu Mahmood has lied to Nigerians and abused our right of choice. And therefore we pass a vote of no confidence and call for his immediate sack and prosecution.
Yes.
Okay, let me leave that video there at the moment. So I'm just wanting to prove a point to you. This is what obedient people do. We don't take laws into our hand. We follow the laws. Protest is lawful. So if you are protesting, protest according to the law. Don't destroy things. Peaceful protest. That's what the obedience do. Obedience doesn't come inside flight and be destroyed, causing nuisance. This is Aboro people that do that can only come from APC. So if you see all those kind of things, no, just know that not them. The APC people. Now I want to bring somebody one lovely lady, one I love so much. I think this is the third time I've made her video. Her name is Ndekato. Ndekato is one of the spokesperson of Labour Party. That lady is brilliant. I love her so much. This is about the third or fourth time when I don't make her video. She understands everything. Psychologically sound, mentally sound. In fact, physically sound. Everything sound. That lady is sound. I don't know why. All Labour Party spokesperson, they are all intelligent. All. No exception. But this lady, each time she's speaking, I keep calm to listen to her. For those who never see her video, when they tell you what your PC and other people they try plan because they say this court case don't hold everybody that they find how they want to disrupt her. When they hear from Tinubu sense, no, they say our strategies. If they do a strategy, the strategy never agree on air. He never agree on talk. Let's listen to Indicator. Indicator. Oh, give us the video.
And the studio now with us tonight is Indicator, a member of the Labour Party, to respond to some of the allegations that obedience, as they're called, are cyber bullies and very intolerant. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Okay. That smile comes like dousing tension. Okay. Now, the obedience, as they're popularly called, have been alleged to be very intolerant. You heard that Israel's comment.
Yes, I heard that.
So what do you have to say in defense of your people?
I think that there is an attempt right now to paint obedience with a brush. This is a situation of give a dog a bad name and then hang it, to paint obedience with a brush. And the truth is, this is a movement that comprises of Nigerians, right? Millions of Nigerians who demand better, who believe in the candidacy of Peter Obi, who know that, look, this man can deliver a better country for us based on his antecedents. So it's not that we just gather together to make noise. And you know, one of the most upsetting things is when people point these fingers at obedience, they forget that during this campaign season, we have lost a ward woman leader in southern Kaduna. We have lost a House of Assembly candidate in Imo. We have lost a Senate candidate. We have come under attack. Peter Obi has been stoned, all sorts of things. Even today, Dr. Tape came out, you know, they accused him of declaring religious war. These are things that this candidate has gone through so much. There's something Peter Obi said, that I was a good man till I decided to run for president. That is when everybody decided. And that's the same thing here. Over and over again, Peter Obi has been that one candidate that has told his followers, I don't want you people to be violent. I don't want us to behave in this way. Even after the elections, when people were calling for nationwide protests, he said, no. We are going to test the integrity of the courts as we have tested the integrity of the electoral system. We are going to test the strength of this institution, and that is what we are doing. We're pushing for that. And, you know, a lot of young people, what the obedient movement has done is to call for a political awakening, and that is what has happened. So the political class and other people who are used to benefiting from this rent-seeking system are not used to being questioned.
That's it.
Are not used to the ordinary man on the street understanding the issues and questioning their every word. When they say 1 + 1 = 3, somebody will stand up to them and say, no, this is not the case. Yes. They are not used to it. And so when they are questioned like this, they start crying bullying and all of that. I mean, we saw what happened in Lagos. We saw the attacks that obedience came under just to be able to vote. Somebody died in Edo State. Just these are the issues. So when you talk of violence in this campaign season, these are the things. And we have come under so many attacks. We have people who have lost lives.
We totally understand. Yes, unfortunately, some lives were lost in the process. And all of them still remain vivid in our memories. But at the end of the day, the accusation, not just from Dire Israel, but members of other political parties, is that obedience sometimes can be unruly in terms of, you know, how they look at certain issues. For instance, Peter Obi has said no to protest and all of that, but we're still seeing some vile tweets using the social media space now. And what they're saying is, for the fact that there is already ongoing litigation, shouldn't that actually get everyone to just calm down and wait for the judiciary to do its due diligence? So what would be a reaction to that in terms of, why not, you know, Peter Obi, some of them are requesting that he comes out now and say, obedient, can we calm down with the rhetoric?
But I do think that we're very calm. I think that if you follow the social media conversation, it is people talking about the court cases. It is people talking about, look, this election was flawed. International observers have said the elections were flawed. Everybody has said, look, this is it. We need better elections. We need, Peter Obi has said, look, this system, this was flawed. The process was flawed. We are going to court to go and debate this. That is what we are talking about on social media. So again, I will point to, look, when people say unruly, I think and I believe that it is that they are not used to being questioned.
I needed to be very objective about this, because at the end of the day, if you are objective enough, you'll be getting a good opportunity in defense of your people. All right, because it's not our words, and it's not even Dire Israel's words. The social media is replete with the actions and reactions of the obedient, as they are called, and sometimes they don't even listen to their candidates. Why don't they listen to the candidates?
Did you see the build-up to the gubernatorial elections and the kind of attacks that people came under in the build-up to the gubernatorial elections? It's quite sad that that has happened. But we're not even having serious conversations around it. Those conversations led to attacks on people. Those are conversations that we should focus on. When you single out people and say, look, you don't belong in these places, if you come out and vote, these are the conversations, because these are the things that led to violence.
Right.
These are the things, not people joking when they attack your car. Somebody came and posted a picture and says, it's a lie, it's not your car. People were laughing about it. That did not lead to violence. These conversations have led, we have issues that have led to violence against us. And these are the conversations we should be having.
It is the conversation we're having. And we need to all look at it objectively here, because all of this bullying, we will not blame it only on the obedience, because the truth is we have seen political parties and even their spokespeople go beyond.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like,
as a media person now who happens to be one of the spokespersons of the Obi Adati campaigns, how would you advise that would draw that line between, having to support your candidate and actually push out whatever you believe should have happened with the election, and hate speech, that line there?
Number one, I want to correct this thing where it is, it's tagged that obedience are the ones.
I did say it's not synonymous to the obedience.
So it looks like, it's just obedience. Yes, unfortunately,
in the country right now.
Unfortunately, things are heated. The political space has become so heated, and it didn't start now. From the 2015 elections, it really got bad when people were reporting people to their bosses to fire them, and it has built up from there. So people, when they come into the political space, people are on the offensive and defensive because they do not want to be the ones on the receiving end of these things. But this is not an obedience situation that, it's just obedience that do this. Look, the truth about it is the people who have faced the most consequence for hate speech is obedience. We have been lynched, all sorts. We are burying people. Badebo Rhodes Vivo is still visiting people. Peter Obi had to visit people after the elections. So when we're talking about the consequences of these things, these are, and you know what? When you talk about us as media people, look, everybody that has been representative of the obedient movement has been quite sensible with their speech. But you have spokespersons, official spokespersons of other political parties being able to say really, really, really terrible things and get away with it. So terrible that we have a professor in Canada who has had to carry a case to ICC for what a spokesperson of the APC said. So when you talk about these things, look, anybody can wake up today and say obedience. You played the video of that person. Do you know that as of this evening, obedience have gone and traced the real name of the person on the flight? Where he used to work, where his wife works, she works at the TV station, all of that have brought that, please, police, take. Because when these accusations come now, they will say obedience. So obedience about the police, look, we have fed you with every information about this character that did this.
Are you saying he's not an obedient, the person who was screaming obedience in the plane?
No.
Are you saying he's not?
Obedience brought it out. No. That's the thing. Anybody can wake up and say, and like I said, we are facing, this is the kind of thing we're facing now.
So make us understand that sometimes some people, in being objective now, sometimes some other people who are not obedient camouflage as obedient on social media to tarnish the image of the obedience. Is that what you're saying?
And when that happens, like with the case of today, obedience take their time, go and investigate, bring out the name of the person, because we do not want to be tainted like that. Even with the conversation of the Eze in Lagos, they have brought out this Eze is actually in Isolo. This man has actually shown support for the ruling party. So now why are you painting him with obedient brush?
Well, the video that he released is clear as to
yes, but they have gone back to trace. Right. And so what I'm pointing out is, look, there is a concerted effort to paint situation right now when we are waiting for the court case. And literally, our leader has said this. We are going to court. All of us, we are facing court. Okay. We are hoping that it will be shown live on TV so that we follow that process. And right now, while we are trying to face that, we are seeing all sorts of things. Today, they'll say, this group of obedience, that group of obedience.
Well, according to Ndakato, she says the person who tried to hijack that Ibom Air flight is not an obedient. But
no, he's not.
Okay, so let's move beyond that right now. And I want to get your thoughts on the conversations about the fact that there are a group of people who are planning to disrupt the inauguration come May 29, because based on allegations from a statement by APC, actually laying the claim allegations again. once again on the Labour Party and its supporters. And also the fact that we did see your vice presidential candidate, Dati, on a TV station where he talked about the fact that if the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sworn in, it's going to be akin to a military takeover.
So the conversation, we've had this conversation about the interim government, and the people who can do interim government are the people in power. It really is not obedience. So no matter what anybody says, there's only certain group of people who can bring in interim government, and it's not us. We're not in power at the moment. So whenever APC, and we have seen this across the campaign season, whenever APC and itself are in battle with themselves, then they start to point fingers. But the only people, and I will say it here again, and you know that the only people who can declare interim government, who can bring in interim government, is Buhari and his government, definitely not us. We do not hold any apparatus of power to bring in an interim government. So if the DSS is having these conversations and other arms of the APC are having this conversation, it definitely cannot be against obedience, because what power does the Labour Party or obedience have to bring in interim government? I do not know.
Yeah, guess sense.
Okay, it's quite amazing how this has panned out. In any case, what word do you have for your people as we wrap all this, so that they do not keep giving out that negative energy in the social media space?
Yeah,
I think that we need to continue with what we are focused on, which is the court case. We need to continue to focus on the candidacy of Peter Obi, getting justice at the court, testing the strength and integrity of the judicial system. And that's what we are focused on. That is the conversation we're having. That is the conversation I see on my own TL. That is the conversation I have with young people around the country. That's the conversation I have with young obedience, older obedience, all our spokespersons. That is what we're on TV talking about. The court cases, this electoral system was flawed. We are going to test the judiciary to see that we get justice at the court. And that is it. We're focused on that, and we need to ignore the distractions.
Good place to jump.
When I don't see the video, all this acting, when they act, now just to discredit, now just to give excuse not to go to court. Now just to find something when they say, now Labour Party people do it, now obedient people do this thing, it can't do unlawful. Now Peter Obi, now he incite the people when make people can't do this thing. Meanwhile, now then they filtrate the evil, not be us. As we do, we abide by the law. We are going to court. And for any obedience, when they listen to my voice, no violence, no fight, nothing. Allow the law to take its course. They say, make we go to court. Now court, here we come. Now the court we dey. Even though say they reach the court, then turn the case upside down. No problem. We are going to the